Right.
Okay. Say hi.
Good evening. Welcome to Glendora Perspective. I'm Diane Michelson.
And I'm Lois Shade. We have several guests here tonight. We have our old friend Mike Archer, who is got a long resume here, but you know who he is. He is a fire consultant, a publisher, an author. He does a lot of publishing of our shows on fire that we have done with him to YouTube. If you want to see more information on fire, you go to YouTube and search Glendora Perspective, and you can see who Mike Archer is, how much he knows, how much he's contributed, and also his water cache project, which we have supported in the past. We'll tell you more about in a little bit. We also have two other guests here. We have President John Dave Wilterding. Did I say that right?
That's close enough.
Close enough. Has been a successful entrepreneur most of his adult life. Dave has owned and operated business primarily dealing with heavy equipment. Due to his expertise with heavy-duty trucks, Dave has been instrumental in developing FirePro USA's emergency response equipment. Dave's business background and emphasis on customer satisfaction ensures FirePro is sensitive to customers' needs and point of view. Operations Director Don Green is a veteran firefighter of 32 years. He doesn't look that old.
No, you don't.
I guess working at a high school ages you faster than fighting fires.
Did you get a face?
Not yet, not
He
yet.
began his career in firefighting with the U.S. Air Force as a crash rescue firefighter. After holding firefighting positions with firefighter to fire chief, Don left the Air Force to work as a firefighter for the San Diego City Fire Department. He has extensive fireground experience and has been a member of the Southern California Geological Area Command staff. His firefighting career has fought numerous firestorms and conflagrations. Boy, that's a
Big fires.
yeah, you're really putting words in here to make me look
Makes me
good.
sound better.
And that conflagration is sort of what we had out there for the last couple of days.
Absolutely.
I heard this morning, Mike, you can correct me, but this morning it was 15 homes were gone, 50 buildings, $2 million spent, 2,500 personnel, 14,000 plus acres on the one fire, and I think over 4,000 on the other. We're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. We've had Mike here before. He's kind of told us a little bit about his fire cache project. Am I doing that right?
Water cache project?
Water cache project, that's better. Which are the tanks that we are trying to get located into the hillside areas, serve two purposes. One provides water for the animals, and we've had a lot of those animals, bear, cougars, everything you can think of coming down, lions, down into our residential areas. This would give them access to what they need and maybe not come down and put the public at risk. It also provides closer water source for the firefighters, the helicopters. There was a comment at one of those fires, I'm not sure if it was Porter Ranch. One of the fire chiefs said, hey, we got water right over there, and that's been a big asset because the helicopters didn't have to use as much fuel. They ran over, dipped it up, went right back to the fire.
Yep.
So it lends more credibility to what you're proposing. We also, Dave and Don here, also have another proposal that we think is worth exploring. It is a project that uses fire retardant.
Yes.
And you don't have to sit there and wait for the fire department to come and drop. If you're a hillside resident, you can do this stuff yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, first of all, let me just thank you for the opportunity to share this. The fire service hasn't been real good about sharing with people how they can defend their own homes and their own property. The reason for that is typically the fire department doesn't want you to be there. I mean, really.
Yeah.
They want you out, they want you safe. However, the fact is that homeowners are going to stay. If you're going to stay to defend your property, then you need to be prepared. You need to be trained. You need to have the right equipment. And that's kind of where we come in. We stress preparation, prevention, and the last thing is protection. So yeah, we're heavily involved in helping the homeowner defend their property.
How do they begin to prepare to do that? I mean, my experience is when they had fires in the South Hills, everybody climbed up on their roof with a hose. Everybody had a garden hose. That was
Right.
preparation.
Yeah, and that's
There's
why
a little more to it.
exactly, and that's why the fire department is so hesitant to tell homeowners to stay and defend, because that's the wrong thing to do. Our philosophy is really based on three principles. It's like a three-legged table. You got preparation as one leg, prevention as the other leg, and protection as the last leg. All those together, the tabletop then becomes a no-burn zone. You go beyond defensible space. You actually create a no-burn zone. Your preparation comes in what we call hardening your home. So that's done almost on a year-round basis here in California. That's when you do your landscaping.
Okay.
Obviously, there's many experts out there that'll tell you what the best landscaping proposals are. And then there's the other side that says, go down to the ground. Well, the truth is,
We do a lot of grapevining, what we call grapevining in Glendora. We just take all that stuff off the hill. You got this little house and all this brown stuff.
horrible, isn't it?
It's ugly.
And you know what? That creates a bowling lane for the embers to go right up to the home. We believe you keep your vegetation there. Now, not all of it, and I mean, obviously there is, firescaping is important, to put the right things in the right place, to keep them trimmed, to keep them healthy. That's very important. That's part of the preparation. But we believe that, first of all, vegetation should be there. I mean, part of our lives and the enjoyment of them is enjoying nature and what's around us. We move into areas that have nice scenery. We want that. Why denude that? We don't need to. In fact, we take that vegetation and we create an asset for you. Instead of the vegetation being considered a liability, we make your vegetation an asset. And we can do that by putting on long-term fire retardant. Now what you have is vegetation that actually becomes a barrier to the fire. And it's also an ember barrier as well. It's actually an ember catcher. We know for a fact that if you keep trees a proper distance from your home, well watered, and trimmed, you can take the dead stuff out, that those trees actually act as ember catchers. They will prevent the embers from just overwhelming your home. Now you add fire retardant on top of that, now you have an excellent ember barrier right there, and you have the beauty of the tree. Or you do the bushes, the same thing. So we like vegetation and we think you should keep it.
In the Porter Ranch area, were any homes, did they have any fire retardant?
To my knowledge, I honestly can't speak very intelligently on that. Mike is shaking his head no.
No.
Okay, now we're down really in the San Diego County area, so we know more about that than we do anything.
You have a fire down there now, right?
We had two, yes. And what we do we spray long-term fire retardant for people, but we also want them to do it themselves. We teach them how, we make sure they have the equipment to do it. I mean, one of the things we do that's so important is understanding that some people will want to stay and defend their home. We want them to be as safe as possible. And the one leg of the table, one leg of that three-legged table is that preparation. And the other leg is that prevention. That prevention involves a lot of fire retardants, because now you're actually going to prevent a fire from taking hold. And another thing you can do to your home now that they're out, there's several companies now, is there's ember-proof and fire-proof vents for your home. That's always been a problem.
Vents?
Vents.
Like air vents?
Yeah, like gable end vents and vents that go into your attic. What we know for a fact is that many times the embers go into those little tiny holes through the vents, and they fester inside the attic space unseen.